I want to begin at the beginning, and my mission here today is to try to get some truth out. Because what's happened today, primarily out of the governor's office, is anything but the truth has been spewed out. First off, I represent Community Capital Partners. My clients are law-abiding Texans, law-abiding Americans, and law-abiding Muslims. 95% of them are U.S. citizens. The majority that aren't United States citizens are legally here. I suspect you can find more illegals at your local Mexican food restaurant than you can in the entire community of Muslims in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. CCP is a for-profit entity created by Epic to manage the Epic City project. They have hired some of the best firms in the state, if not the country, to help them comply with what they're building. All they want to do is to build a community that allows them to live together with people who value family and faith. They intend to follow all the laws, from the Fair Housing Standards Act to the zoning laws to whatever. But what's happened primarily from Governor Abbott's office is hate speech. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of the falsehoods that Abbott's office has been putting out. It's nonsense. He has tweeted that Sharia law will be implemented. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. No one associated with Epic, no one associated with that community follows Sharia law or is in favor of Sharia law or is implementing Sharia law. The governor has weaponized that word repeatedly. He has said it's a no-go zone. That's absolute nonsense. For those of you who are familiar with the military phrase, that means it's not safe for law enforcement to go there. I think the legal phrase is bullshit. Absolutely nonsense. They have Mesquite Police Department that attends that mosque. They have a state rep that attends the mosque. They have a mayoral candidate that attends that mosque. It's absolute nonsense. He's called it a compound. Trust me, I represented a Branch Davidian. I know what a compound is. I've been there. There are no underage children being sexually molested. There are no cache of weapons. For him to call this a compound is an outright lie, and it's an insult, and it's doing nothing but try to demonize faithful, religious, honest, hardworking people. I'm ashamed that he's gone that far. He said he's going to prevent foreign adversaries from buying property. These aren't foreign adversaries. These are Texans. These are Americans. These are United States citizens. The idea that he's throwing that out there is an insult. He said that they are refusing to sell to non-Muslims. Again, that's an absolute lie. It's a falsehood. He's made it up. The only requirement to purchase a lot in Epic City is to be an accredited investor as defined by the SEC. He said yesterday, this tweet, Epic and affiliated entities have not obtained the required authorizations or permits needed for construction. They must confirm within 7 days they are ceasing construction of their illegal project or face the full weight of the law. Perhaps the governor and his staff aren't xenophobic. Perhaps the governor and his staff aren't Islamophobic. Perhaps they're just plain ignorant or choose to be ignorant. But spoiler alert, they haven't started construction. They haven't even applied for the permits. For him to say stop it or the full weight of the law will come down on you is just utter nonsense. It's insane. They haven't even applied for the permits. And here he goes. Cease construction of the illegal project. They haven't started construction. And when they do, it'll be a legal project, not an illegal project. He's authorized the Texas Rangers to investigate. Really? It's a field. The old adage used to be one riot, one ranger. Is the new adage one cow patty, one ranger? It's a field. Come on out there, Texas Rangers. Call me up, 713-426-2244. I'll walk out in the field with you. I'll answer any question you want. The idea that he's got the Rangers involved to investigate a cow patty? Come on. I extend an open invitation to Governor Abbott, to the Texas Rangers, to the Texas State Securities Board, the Attorney General's office, or anyone else that wants to investigate us. Call me, 24/7, 365. We have an open invitation. You want to interview my clients? Call me. I'll set it up. You want to look at books and records? Call me. I'll set it up. You want to come tour the property? Call me. Set it up. You want to come to the mosque? Call me. Set it up. But quit tweeting lies, false information, and nonsense. Because my clients right now, what they are doing is they are suffering from essentially gubernatorial hate speech. They're getting death threats. Their families are being antagonized. Their property's getting picketed. They are afraid for their lives because of the falsehood that the governor's office has started. That's nonsense. That's not Texan. That's not American. That's nonsense. And it needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Questions?
Have you ever seen a full court press like this before
No.
from the governor?
No.
It's been one allegation after another. And do you know, is it because of the kickback that they've gotten once this got publicized? Do you have any idea why he would do this?
I mean,
why Mr. Paxton would do it as well?
Tell me your first name.
Kevin Reese with Channel 8.
Thank you, Kevin. The only thing that makes sense to me, Kevin, is just pandering to a far-right base. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. And fun fact, one of the governor's biggest campaign contributors, if not the biggest campaign contributor, I won't out him, but he's contributed $5 or $6 million, is a Muslim. So little bit of hypocrisy there, but I don't know. It makes no sense, except there's a Sasha Cohen Barrett, or what, Sasha Cohen, and I'll share it with y'all, or I'll have Sana share it with you, but it's a parody of him going into a community in Arizona. Do you want this mosque or do you want that mosque? And the outrage is pretty hilarious, but I apologize for getting us off topic, but the only thing that makes sense to me as to why they're doing this is it panders to a far-right base that's not based in any reality or fact.
You're a criminal defense attorney.
Yes, I am.
Explain, what are the law violations that you are defending your client against, the allegations?
Well, there are no formal allegations yet. I hope there will be no formal allegations yet, because I don't think anything has occurred. They are being investigated by the Texas State Securities Board, which will fully comply with any requests they have. The Attorney General's office has basically issued a subpoena for the relevant documents they need, and will provide those. I think and I forget the shorthand for it, but the funeral home, the entity that regulates funeral homes has issued a cease and desist. But there are no formal allegations in terms of criminal, as far as I know.
We're at, I believe, 5 investigations.
5 or 6. He said 12. He's going to have 12
Right,
agencies.
And I was going to ask about that. You know, they talk about turning over these documents. What sort of, because the governor's office and the AG's office have given us no details on
Right.
exactly what they're looking at.
Right.
What sort of documents have Epic and Community Capital Partners been requested to turn over? Have those documents been turned over?
The documents that have been requested, and I don't have a laundry list of them in front of me. I'll be happy to email the documents if we can. I don't know if it's appropriate for us to email the subpoenas or the demands. I'll find out. But I will tell you that whatever they're asking for, we will provide them voluntarily and in spade and before they're due.
Have you gotten any more communication about the potential, because the governor said dozens of state agencies looking at this. We're at 5 or 6 now. Any indication of what those other agencies may be, or what those other investigations
I mean, he's got the AG's office involved, the State Securities Board, the Funeral Home Association. I mean, I don't know how many. What's next? The Abuse Against Pets Association. I don't know. He's unleashed all the hounds, but I don't even know who the hounds are, where they come from.
Do you both now take any legal action towards the person who kind of initiated all this on social media months ago?
I don't intend to give any oxygen into that woman's lungs. No. I want to cooperate. I want to be transparent. I want to be fulsome. I don't want to resort to legal action. I want to help my clients get this done. I don't want to spend my clients' money and time in a lawsuit. I want to spend my clients' time and money getting a perfectly appropriate community built.
Yeah, I was at the Collin County Commissioners meeting.
That must have been fun.
Yes, so there's, I think, a sense from the public that, okay, this is a neighborhood that's being built for a particular religion.
Sure.
Can you respond to that?
Well, of course it's going to be, I would expect the majority of the people that will live there are going to be the Muslim community, because they're going to have a mosque there. I mean, not too many Christians go to a mosque, so from the geography of it alone, of course we expect the vast majority of the folks that will end up living there will be Muslims, but it's open to anyone. It's not, I mean, anybody can live there. I talked with my clients the other day about, hell, I'll get a lot. That looks pretty cool to me, and I'm whiter than my shirt, so it doesn't scare me a bit.
Has there been any direct communication with the governor's office or the AG's office about this?
No. There is an assistant attorney general. I was just retained a couple of days ago. I haven't spoken with my former client, Ken Paxton. I will, but I'm going to go through the appropriate channels and meet with the fella in Ken's office that has initiated that part of the investigation. If I have to go up the chain as appropriate, I will, but I don't intend to leverage my relationship with Paxton. It's just not how things should get done.
You kind of touched on it earlier, but this pushback, have you seen it with other communities within Texas?
I have never seen the hysteria associated with the building of something legitimate, and I'm older than dirt. So the short answer is no. Anybody else?
Will your clients be speaking at all?
Not today. We're issuing a press release on other matters today, but you know, frankly, they're afraid to get on camera. They're afraid for their names to be further out in the press. They can't answer a phone call. Their home addresses have been put on social media. Their pictures of their homes have been put on social media. Hell, my beautiful wife is a little afraid for me standing here. So they don't want to get on public view, nor do I blame them until this hysteria calms down. And that's really the point. I mean, to have people who are of a different faith than some folks to be basically terrorized because of false information put out by the governor is an insult, and it's a shame, and it needs to stop.
Would you like to speak directly to the governor?
I'll-
Which I guess you have, but through us. I mean, you've done that a bit this morning, but, I mean.
Said everything I need to say.
Yeah.
I mean, if he'll meet with me, I'll drive to Austin right now. I suspect it may take a day or two before he wants to meet with me, but I'll be happy to.
Is there an estimate on the number of death threats that folks associated with the East Plano Islamic Center and Community Capital Partners?
I mean, dozens. I don't have an exact number because several people have been targeted, but dozens. I mean, every person I talk to, they can't even answer their cell phone anymore without getting a death threat. I mean, that's crazy. They've done nothing wrong.
Is this just the development partner or folks at East Plano Islamic Center as well?
The threats have been coming to both.
And
All right,
again-
guys.
I'm
Anything
sorry,
else?
And again, at this point, nothing has happened so far. They just bought the property, this is all in the beginning.
They're applying for permits. That's the great sin that has occurred here. Actually, they haven't even applied yet. They are preparing to apply for permits. And here we are. It's nuts. It's about as non-Texan and non-American as anything I have ever seen. And again, I am older than dirt. Thank y'all.